Hey guys, what up? It's Goose TV here again today, and today I'm back with another Madden Mobile video on my channel. Now today's video, guys, we are looking back so far at Madden Mobile 21 and seeing the worst glitches, or the best glitches, however you want to put it, that have been in the game so far this year. I think this year has been one of the worst years we've ever had for these kind of glitches. There's been so many different issues, whether they be player benefiting, or game breaking, or just really big issues with the game, usually that are resolved, but there's been a lot of really massive things that have happened throughout the year this year. Some of them you might have participated in, some of them maybe you don't even know that happened, but I'm going to do my best to explain. I've got 7 on my list today that we're going to go over. We're going to show some screenshots, some different things, and talk about how they impacted the game in a big way in this video today. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications so you never miss any of my videos. 70% of you guys aren't subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's try to get this video to 200 likes. Now, some of these may not be classified as glitches per se, but they weren't intended to be in the game, and that is the biggest thing. So I'll say that they're a glitch, and the biggest thing is I'm highlighting a lot of player benefiting glitches. So not stuff like right now, one of the biggest, there's a lot of visual glitches. So like in the league versus league leaderboard, if I go to leagues and I click on, oh, there's not one active right now, so that doesn't help, but a bunch of the stuff doesn't show up correctly. It's all slid to the right. It's just very, very weird, and just an issue obviously with the game right now. Mainly the ones that I'm focusing on are those ones that are player benefiting. Now a lot of the glitches this year, and I honestly think pretty much all of the glitches, EA really hasn't done a whole lot about them. They haven't been banning people for them. It's just an issue because some of these are so game breaking and economy breaking and mess with the entire game that there's no good way to solve it other than reward the people that benefited from it. So it's really a tough situation with a lot of these glitches, which we're going to talk about, that are really player benefiting and really weren't a lot to do about them. I want to give a huge shout out to Greeny for supplying me with a bunch of the screenshots from these videos, as well as Rep and MM20 and some of the other members of Jerry's Discord for helping me out with talking about some of these and helping me out with the video, getting screenshots, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for making this video possible. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the worst glitches or the best glitches, whatever you want to say, so far in Madden Mobile 21. Keep in mind that these glitches are really in no particular order. So we're starting out with the most simple one, and actually the only one that I've used this year. So when Team of the Week was active, when we had weekly Team of the Week stuff, there was always a Team of the Week pick starter in the store. And the way this worked, it would be $4.99, not Madden Cash, $4.99, and you get 500 Madden Cash, so you could be buying the Madden Cash. You get the pick points for the week, as well as some Madden Today shields and banners, and some Team of the Week players in the pack. So it was a nice little deal to start off the week. You can get your pick points, you can get all that stuff, but for 10 minutes on one day, don't exactly remember what day it was, but for one day for 10 minutes in this store, the pack was $4.99 Madden Cash. So instead of that, you could buy the pack for Madden Cash. You made a Madden Cash profit, a single Madden Cash profit, as well as getting the other stuff. So I thought that was pretty funny. It's really not too player benefiting, but it's such a minor thing, and it's still pretty funny, the fact that you could profit 1 Madden Cash off of it. I thought that was pretty funny. So that was one of these glitches. Let's move on to the next. Now, I don't have too many screenshots for the next one, but we're talking about Kickoff. Kickoff was filled with tons of glitches, tons of stuff going on. So one of the main things, Kickoff was in general a pretty good promo. I remember the setup was really good. There was basically touchdown badges and I believe like kickoff badges or something, and basically you'd use the emblems and the badges, as well as there was the kickoff tokens. And the biggest glitch was the kickoff tokens is that the chain stopped working. So you played one event on the chain and then you would keep on going up and repeating that over and over again. Well, what happened with the chain is that the first event you could continually replay for no stamina cost, and you could get an unlimited amount of kickoff tokens. Here's a screenshot from Greeny of a bunch of kickoff tokens, 12,000. That was a ton. That's almost equivalent to like a Team of the Year token. It was an unbelievable amount of tokens that you could use for some of the sets and getting badges and emblems and all that stuff, and you could continuously play that event. I'm pretty sure it got patched pretty quickly, but I know the events were bugged and they had to take the events down for a few, I think like there was almost an entire day, or at least a big hour, couple hour period where people weren't able to really play the events and they were all busted and all that fun stuff. Kickoff was filled with tons of glitches, primarily the kickoff token one. Let's move on to the next glitch. Now this one I guess really isn't a glitch, and it could be put in a bunch of different categories, but I thought I would mention it in this. So what happened with the game is, because they released an early beta version for some people, it was primarily for Android people. Some people had access to the early beta of the game. They're able to play test it about a week early and that kind of stuff. However, a bunch of people were able to get the APK link, which means they were able to unlock the game early. There was a way to mainly get it on Android, but I believe iOS had an option too. I'm not exactly sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But I know at least Android, and I'm pretty sure maybe iOS had an option to do this as well. But people were able to get into the game early and start their accounts early. I believe they're starting. I've heard recently they've been doing some banning stuff for this, but I know that there was a big issue with a lot of people being on the game early. I think they took care of most of it and banned a lot of the people that were starting early, but people were able to get access to the game early, start stuff way ahead of other people, get into the game when they weren't supposed to, and this really affected, because those people were going to have a big head start with their teams, especially being on leagues, and have a big head start with coins and all this stuff. It's really, it was a big deal. They have the power to influence the market on the first day, and a lot of big deals. So this was a huge thing, and like I said, I think they took care of it. I don't think it really had too much of an effect. Maybe in the first few days it did, but after that, everybody catches up at some point. So that was that. Let's move on to the next glitch. So one of the programs that we see currently in the game that really doesn't have much going on is Top 100. Basically, right now, there's only like a couple different things you can play, but back then there were 4 different groups of events that were unlocked. There was the 75 to 100, like the 50 to 75, the 25 to 50, and the 1 to 25. Those were out as specific promos. We had special days where we were able to play these events and get more stuff than what you're able to get now for Top 100. DeForest Buckner was an 84 overall, and what happened was you needed to get specific player collectibles, and you needed to collect all of this player collectibles. Now, at the top where it says those spotlight events, those highlighted specific players collectibles, and you could get them at specific times, and they weren't always available, so you had to be you needed to know when these events were coming out to be able to play them and get the collectibles you needed. Well, I believe it was right at reset one morning where the DeForest Buckner event, people were able to play over and over again. Once you unlocked it, you could continue to play it for, I believe, no stamina, and play it over and over again and get a ton of Buckner and collectibles. And because of this, people were able to take advantage of this and get so many Buckner cards and different cards in Top 100. People were able to get some of the pack masters and get way ahead in this promo. A lot of people it was a big deal. A lot of people were really upset about this. This was the first major one that everyone was talking about, and I believe there was no official kind of, I don't think there was any banning. There was no compensation for anybody. It was just whoever did the glitch was able to take massive advantage of it, got a lot of extra Top 100 cards and a lot of other, a bunch of the collectibles that they got way too many of that people weren't supposed to get. So I don't 100% remember this too well, so I don't know if it was actually stamina you could repeat it for, because I think it was supposed to be just a first win event thing. Maybe it was free though. Maybe you were able to just play it over and over again. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that was right at reset. It was a big deal that a lot of people got of extra Top 100 cards. So let's move on to the next glitch. Now, the next glitch was actually, like I said, this is maybe not specifically a glitch, but it's something that wasn't supposed to happen in the game. So I actually did take advantage of it, quote unquote, when it's really just a flaw in their game. So basically, on Halloween, for Most Feared, we had a couple different currencies throughout the month. We had Will-O-Wisps, which were used for the month-long Grindmasters, like we had for Trenches last month, and like the Pristine Ice. It worked the same way. The Will-O-Wisps, not the Whale-O-Wisps, like you see on your screen. The Will-O-Wisp. It was a blue collectible. Those were used for the Grandmasters. The Wails were meant to be, it was mainly a pay-to-play currency. You were able to get some of them free-to-play, but you weren't supposed to get enough of them to be able to get a master. There were some specific pack masters at the end of the month where you could trade in your Wails that if you got lucky enough to get, I believe it was 25 of them. If you got lucky enough to get the number, you were able to trade those in for a pack master. However, this was for the Halloween live event. You got a free 90 Jim Brown, you got a bunch of candy collectibles, and you were supposed to get 25 Will-O-Wisps, and those were supposed to help everybody out and finish off some of the month-long masters. It was the Brian Dawkins, the Derek Thomas, and the Michael Vick to be able to upgrade those up to 94 overalls. Those were supposed to be given out in that event to help people out. However, for the first few minutes of the event, probably like the first like 10, 20, I'm not exactly sure how long, the event gave Wails. And like I said, those were supposed to be the pay-to-play. People weren't supposed to get those. So out of that event, I remember I put it in the first few minutes the event came out, and I ended up getting, this is my own screenshot from my own video, 25 Wail-O-Wisps, and I was able to complete a master. And this was so player benefiting because to be able to finish those month-long masters, EA still had to give the people the Will-O-Wisps. So I ended up getting these 25 Will-O-Wisps, and for everybody that completed it when it was supposed to get Will-O-Wisps, you got the Will-O-Wisps back. So me and a lot of other people were able to get both the 25 Will-O-Wisps and the Will-O-Wisps. We got those extra Will-O-Wisps, and we're able to complete a bunch of extra masters. This was a big deal. I know this was a huge thing. Everybody was upset who didn't take advantage of it. So this is one where it's technically a glitch, but it's just something that wasn't supposed to happen, and whoever took advantage of it really got a big deal and got an extra player out of it. So this was a huge deal on Halloween. Let's move on to our next glitch. Now, there are certain things in this game that I would think just even a small amount of testing could take care of, and that was the deal, or even just looking at any error, double checking on certain things would just solve a lot of these issues. And this was the deal with one of these, the career tribute Philip Rivers. Now, once again, there's certain things in this game that I feel like could be intentional, but at the same time, it seems too good to be true. The Philip Rivers career tribute was the first career tribute and the only career tribute card we've had so far in this year. It was the first big event we had for regular stamina. It was on the Madden Today map, 75 stamina, and you got, I believe, just some gold players, and you had chances of pulling some different Philip Rivers cards, but you also had the chance to pull the 95 Philip Rivers career tribute card. However, for the first, I believe, 10-15 minutes of the event, the pull rates were insane. You could probably pull like 1 in 20 or something like that. You were able to pull a ton of these. So this screenshot I remember taking, this ended up being on top pulls of the week. This guy submitted it for that as well. 4 of these Philip Rivers. I don't know how many events he ended up playing, but it was not very many. It wasn't, 200 or anything like that. He probably played like 80 events, maybe 100 events, and maybe even less than that. Was able to pull 4 Philip Rivers. So the pull rates were incredibly high. So my guess, it was like 1 in 20, but it was supposed to be like 1 in 200, but they made it 1 in 20 on accident. So it's one of those things where even any remote, even planning and looking at it or double checking would make sure this wouldn't happen. In my opinion, this could have been intentional. I don't know why it would have been. I don't know why they would have, but it seems too easy to be able to fix to make this so common for 15 minutes, whatever. And then the pull rates got fixed, and it was super hard to pull. I didn't end up pulling one like 100 packs or anything like that. So, super fun. This was pretty cool. It was pretty funny for so many people who were able to pull them. So that was the Philip Rivers glitch. Let's move on to the final glitch of the video. The MartinGate. This was the biggest glitch of the year for sure. Not even a question. I wanted to save it for last. The Martin Lane, the MartinGate glitch. Now, most people probably remember this, and if you don't, let me talk about it. So, in the promos earlier this year, what they usually had was different signs and different things that kind of led you into the next promos. During Most Feared and during the October monthly promos, we had the keys that unlocked the next promo, which basically mean you just got an S2 player that you could use for the next promo. And it was the same thing for the in the month of Road Trip to the Playoffs. The road signs were used for the next promo. So for example, the Martin Lane from the previous promo, which I believe was just mid-season awards, not exactly sure. I think that's what it was from though. You could trade in the Martin Lane for an 85 plus season 3 player. And these were expensive. These were probably 700, 800k at the time, and you needed a ton of these for the Madden Feast promo. A lot of the masters required like 12 of them. It was not easy to get these players. You needed a lot of these 85 plus players, and you were supposed to be able to complete one of these signs. You get a free 85 and the set is done. But as you can see at the top, it says 5 completed. For the first few minutes of the promo, I want to say 15 minutes, this set was repeatable, and what you got in the set was an 85 plus player, but you got the road sign back, and you were supposed to be able to use that to be able to get stuff towards the end of the month. However, the set was repeatable, so you could continue doing this and doing this and doing this. Guys, this broke the economy for these 85 plus players. people were able to get, I know people got like 80, 90 of these 85 plus players. When they were going for 600, 700K, people made millions and millions of coins, and it just, people were pissed. People were upset, and this was the biggest, probably, like I said, this is the biggest glitch of the year. And with those amount of items, there's no good way to solve it. I know we were at first, we were kind of convinced by Nick and a lot of the people and the EA people that we were going to get some sort of compensation. They were going to do something about this, but I think they kind of realized that there's no good way to do it. It would make everything way too cheap if they gave everybody like 20 85 plus players. I know that was on the table, but they never came up with a good solution, so nothing happened. So the people that took advantage of this for the first 15 minutes got unlimited 85 plus players and so benefited from this, made millions and millions of coins, were able to complete more masters than everybody else. It was a big deal. This is the biggest glitch of the year so far, and that is the final glitch of the video. Holy. There you guys have it. Those are some of the worst glitches we've had so far this year. It's crazy, some of those. Let me know which one, if you participated in any of these, which ones of these were your favorite, which ones did you make the coins from. If any of these you didn't know, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on these kind of videos. I'm struggling for content. You know, I barely uploaded last week, so I'm gonna do my best to try to come up with these creative video ideas like these in the future and over the next few weeks. Usually I would be making these videos a lot later in the season when there's literally nothing to do before the reset, but we are in February and I gotta make these videos that shows you how dry the game is. But anyways guys, that's just about it for the video. Today's post notification shout out goes out to Sam Bam. Be the first person to comment on a video for the next video's post notification shout out. But anyways guys, that's just about it. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm Goose TV and I'm out. I will see you guys later.